Nice to have the driver of the 22 off to a good start this speed week. Daytona, you seem comfortable here.
Yeah, so far so good. You know, it's funny as you go through the clash and these practices and things, you start to get more comfortable. And I think the first 5 laps in the clash, I made 3 mistakes right off the bat, and I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? But then eventually, you kind of clean up those mistakes. You start working better with your spotter. You start understanding what your car is doing, what you can and can't do, and you start to apply all that for the end of the race.
Joe, it looks like to me it's going to be so important to find your teammate in the Daytona 500. And that's something that you and Brad Keselowski, you've done a really good job over the last few years at restrictor plate races.
Yeah, and it's kind of what it's going to take. You're 100% right. When you have 4 Gibbs cars that are so
well, 6 Gibbs cars.
6 of them, yeah, that are so committed to each other. They're so selfless, and they're able to just say, hey, it's whoever's in the lead, we're staying in line, and no one's going to try to pass, and it makes it really hard to pass them. And the only way you're going to do it is you got to team up. Yeah. And lucky for us that we have the Stewart Haas cars now.
Yeah, you and Harvick seem like you're good friends.
Hey, look at us go. So and we've worked together even in the past. There was a point last year after we left the 500 and the Gibbs cars did what they did. I called him up on the way to Talladega, and I said, we got to work together, dude. Like, that's the only way we're going to get these guys. Because he's an aggressive race car driver, just like myself, that we're going to have to push hard to get by these guys. And you saw the other day with the clash when we were able to get Brad, myself, and Harvick, and get 3 of us to break up those 4 Gibbs cars one at a time. Once we were able to break them apart, then we can go race. But we had to break them apart, and they've really changed the whole sport, really, when it comes to speedway racing because of the way they are.
Well, you're in your mid-20s. We were going over the numbers. Last 3 years, you have 14 wins. So you and Jimmy, that's the most, right? In Cup, which is impressive. That championship, and you've been close. We
don't count the All-Star race in the clash, though, for all that. It's such a bummer. Like, I want the sticker on my car. Like, it's like, can I get a winner sticker for that?
I have more wins than Jimmy. No.
That's what I want.
What about the championship? Have you and Roger kind of looked and say, hey, what else? I mean, I know you've had some bad breaks here and there. What else could we do to get that for the 22 team?
Well, obviously, we've been very close the last 3 years. We've had some very fast race cars. We've gotten ourselves and put ourselves in position. We've learned something every year, though, and that's the important part. When I look at, 2014, when we were racing for a championship, was it 2014 or 2015?
14.
Yeah, 14, because 15 was the 500, right?
We went down there.
14 and 16, by the way.
Yeah, 16. 15 we should have. But 14, we went down there to Miami, and as a team, we didn't do a good job. As a driver, I made mistakes. I hit the wall. I didn't approach it. The pressure got to me. And I think, if you look at getting back there again in 2016, we've done such a better job. We were prepared. We were better under pressure. So to see how we evolved as a team and how much better we've gotten just gives us more confidence to go out there and make it happen this year.
And your driving versatility, you drove a tank the other day with your wife and Brad Keselowski. And I know you have a car boat. You have all kinds of fun things. But tell us about the tank ride.
We need a tank now.
Boy.
Gotta get a tank.
That would be nobody's going to bother you on the road.
I had a lot of fun driving the tank, but it was probably just as cool to see my wife driving a tank. Like, that is like the coolest thing ever. So I felt like I had it was really cool.
My drivers told me for years they felt like they were driving a tank.
I know.
That was more about your work than the car.
And if they ever said it doesn't turn like a tank, those things can turn on a dime.
Okay.
Really?
So those things it's pretty neat. This was an older tank. It's like a 1950 something, but it was just really neat to. You feel like you can take on anything.
Take on anything. We expect you to go a little faster on Sunday. Yeah. We wish you well in the Daytona 500. Of course, the dual races Thursday here as well. Always good seeing you.
Thank you, guys.
He's got $1 million smile. Always smiling, Joey Logano.